Babies.
John singing Muppet Babies. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Toy Duo team, where we're going to talk about action figures, TV, movie, and much, much more. This week, it's Price-Pocalypse, because who the heck's going to pay $80 for a plastic ship that fits in the palm of your hand? And then, of course, D23 is going on, so we got some highlights from D23 and stuff like that. But anyways, how's everybody doing this week?
I'm exhausted, but I'm okay.
Good.
Same.
I tried to sell some toys and comics this morning, and it must have got over 100 degrees. I was between 7 and 8 o'clock, I was sweating so much that I think I lost about 48 pounds in water weight. And to top it off,
I was going to say, John, I think you lost around 48 pounds.
Yeah.
You look like
to top it off. So we were there till about lunchtime, and to top it off, I only made $5.
Wow.
I only sold $5 worth.
You're only able to scalp $5 worth of stuff out of your toys.
Yes. Although I did have one guy. This is an interesting thing. I don't know how many of you guys do vendor sales at toy shows and things, but do you ever have those guys that walk up and they're like, "I'll buy every toy you have here for," and they lowball you
$50.
Yeah.
Oh man,
that's like ridiculous. And it's like, no. I go, listen. I am a vendor who does this stuff. I've been doing it since 2001. I do this stuff all the time. I can't. I said, if you want to give me $1,200 for everything on these tables, I'll sell it, because that's a reasonable amount. If I sell it all individually, I could get like $1,700 or so. So I'm like, $1,200 is a pretty big discount. It's, and I might do that, but he was like, no, I want $500, for everything. And I'm like, no,
$500.
And they look at you like you're never gonna sell it, Mister. It's like,
oh man.
Yeah,
he's doubling
What'd
down.
You sell for $5?
Oh, you're never going to sell it at that price?
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Then why do you want it? Then why do you want it? Like
what did you sell for $5?
He's the used car salesman of buyers.
It was a tugboat.
Oh, okay. So I went to a garage.
Die-cast tugboat that was left over from that die-cast stuff that guy gave me.
I went to a garage sale, and this guy had like a tote full of action figures, obviously an action figure collector, because he had some customs and stuff in there. So those were obviously more valuable than the other ones because he had painted them and stuff. But he basically was like, there was another guy kind of looking, and then the tote was on the ground. And I just asked him, I go, hey, how much are the figures? He goes, oh, they're like $5 a piece. So I was like thumbing through the figures. And then the other guy was like saying, well, how much for the whole tote, whatever? Like the same thing you're saying, John, right? There was probably like 30 figures in there, and he wanted to give the guy like $50 or something like that. And then he looked at me because I had like 3 figures in my hand. And then he goes, hey, I'm buying that. And I go, oh, okay. And then I went in there and I saw like a Solid Snake. So I grabbed that too. And then when I stood up, I just handed the guy $20. And I go, 5 each, right? Thanks. And I walked away because I was like, he did not buy it yet. Yeah. And he was like, but as far as I'm concerned, he didn't buy it.
I've seen that happen too, where people want to buy everything, and they try to tell you to put everything down that you got. And you're like, no, I grabbed these before you even got here. Your deal was for what was left in the tub.
Yeah, like to me, I'm like, I basically gave the guy nearly half of the $50 for only 4 figures out of the thing, right? So obviously he's going to take my $20. He did not hesitate either. He just took the 20 and said, thanks. You need a bag?
But
I go, no, I'm good.
But to be fair, on the other side of it, I have done what you're doing, where you were saying, where like, I'll say to somebody, if I see a bin full of figures, I'm not talking about buying their entire table out, but like, because that's what he wanted. He wanted to buy everything in my entire booth. So then I would be like, oh, I can just go home after this because I have nothing left to sell. But that would also mean I'd have nothing left to sell at any future show. So I'm like, okay, I can't do it. You know what I mean?
I've never set up a table or anything, but I feel like I want to.
I've done the things where I'm like, how much is just that box of figures or that bin of figures? But usually I ask them how much it is. I don't try to offer. You know what I mean?
Well, the guy was trying to get a lot of figures cheap, right? Like
of course.
And what I did was 3 of the figures that I picked out besides the solid snake were build-a-figures. So I picked 3 build-a-figures out of there. I was like, oh, these are valuable. And then the guy was saying $5 a piece. Now, one of the build-a-figures had the same. It was the shield robot. You know what I'm talking about?
So he had 2 of the same arms.
Android?
He had 2 of the same, lower hands. So he didn't have like the one that had the machine gun on the one side or the.
I got you.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, these are too cool. Anyways, let's say hi to some people in the chat because we got
and
Thrilly.
We got to get going.
Did I say that right? Jonathan Redmond's here.
Really?
Yeah, Mr. B. Gary's Grills. He said he makes $550 every time he goes and does a sell his toy thing. Yeah, when you sell like 4 hot toys at a 4 of your hot toys. No, I'm just messing around. Hoppy's Creation. Enduro Dude is here. Let's see. Okay, so we do know.
Is that Endor Dude or Enduro?
Endor. Oh, did I say Enduro Dude?
Yeah.
Indoor Dude.
Yeah, Endor Dude. Yeah.
I was like, this guy must be into motorcycles because he must like the Enduro. It is indoor.
That's $130 an hour. Did you catch that? He said if the show is from 12 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's selling like 1 hot toy an hour.
Hot toys, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Which he spent $357. No, I'm just messing with you, Gary. I don't know what the deal is. But I got a lot of stuff in here. If I just like put it in a tote and carried it out to the corner, I could have my own toy store.
Yeah.
I'll give you $200 for it, Vern.
Talking about that though, like I saw this video about this like collectibles kind of like sale that happens in like some school gymnasium or whatever once a year. Apparently it's pretty big, and apparently the person behind it all started it was like really small. They sell the tables and stuff like that. And then it started making me think like, oh, how do you get involved in like creating an event like that where eventually you got like a lot of people showing up?
I did help a couple people start an event in Seattle. We did it 2 years in a row, and then I moved to Florida. So, but I helped them set it like, actually go and get the permits, find a location, find out how much it is to rent that location, and then go out and find all the vendors to fill it up. And you know what I mean? Like, so it's not that difficult, but you do have to make a company, and kind of the guy you're renting the space from generally won't rent it to you unless you're a legit company and have your own business. You know what I mean?
Does anybody need to make sure that dog is not attacking somebody?
I'm waiting to hear a scream in the background. If I don't, she knows.
Because it sounds like there's an intruder.
Yeah, it's surprisingly not mine.
Yeah. No, I'm not worried. I'm not worried about it, Dan. Don't worry about muting yourself. I just think it's hilarious because one night my dog just goes crazy, barks. I get up, and then he just like goes back in his bed and lays down. It's like, hey, thanks for getting up. I told Danny I was just trying to move on as a big box issue to be 89. Yeah. Batmobile. Okay. So this week we are going to talk about the Price-Pocalypse. So we'll get into that. Couple of things I wanted to point out I thought was interesting. So I watched a lot of these interviews that people did. Mm-hmm. And the one that Imperial Communique did is what's the designer guy's name? The guy in the picture there? Chris. Yeah. So he had said this multiple times in multiple people's videos where he talked about like, the idea of the mini rig was to put ships into kids' collections where they're, where parents couldn't afford like the bigger ships. And so he said, like that, they want to do something similar with TVC and have these like multiple price points so that people can do their world building because that's what the TVC scale is all about. So I feel like they're a little bit out of touch when he says something like that. And then the price comes out because $80 is not an inexpensive ship by any means, in my opinion. But then what I thought was interesting, because I think the press release probably came out on the 24th or the 25th. But during this brand interview, they asked them directly. He's like, "Hey, is there a price point?" And they all hemmed and hawed and then did not give a price. And then they made a joke about it, like they just didn't do their homework and stuff like that.
He says, "Move your mouth, and we'll dub something in later." Is that what they really said?
Yeah. But he's joking with them. He goes,
watching this. Yeah.
He basically just says, "Hey, just move your lips and I'll dub in the price later," or something like that, right? Like it's like a joke because nobody was prepared to give a price on the INT-4. That's what they were specifically talking about. Sorry, now I remember. That's okay. So I remember that a year or so ago, the GI Joe Classified team came out and they made a specific video saying, "Here's our basic figure price. Here's our deluxe figure price. Here's our figure price with a animal. Here's our figure price with like a vehicle, a small vehicle, big vehicle, and so on and so on." Right? Do you guys remember that coming out? They had this whole price tiering, and then it's the same thing, right? Then the prices just ended up all over the page, and you couldn't figure out, well, okay, so is that a small animal or a big animal? You know what I mean? Like, okay, so no way to figure that out. Let's see, Jonathan. Hasbro idea of multiple price points is still all the money.
Taking a page out of the Mickey Mouse playbook.
Right. So I'm gonna just go through some stuff and chime in, guys. Everybody chime in when you have, if you want to interject something. I took these two action figures and vehicles because I feel like for the most part there should be the same price, in my opinion. One is not. It's $67.99 versus $79.99. And then I'm going to do something kind of crazy because the guy who runs the little design and brand team over there also has his own YouTube channel. And just 5 days ago, he put up a video answering somebody's question, like what makes a deluxe, right? So he had graphics and everything. So I took some of those graphics and we'll just go through them and then go, yes.
Go back to that picture.
This one?
Is the vintage, so Star Wars The Vintage Collection Remnant ATRT, does it have toe articulation?
No.
Like the Black Series?
No, it does not.
So it does have a different number of joints.
Yes.
It has less joints.
Correct.
I get where John's going because he's basically saying.
I just want to.
Yeah, okay.
Carry on. Okay.
All right.
Yes.
All right. I know where you're going with that because then you're saying, well, then why isn't it the same price as the Black Series based on what we're going to hear was, hey, my bet is both Chris and the PR Muppet. Oh my God, I knew the price was going to be $89 and they didn't want any backlash over that price. I agree with that. I think that they probably did not want the price to come out at Comic-Con because that's probably would have overshadowed everything else. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying they purposely lowered the price in the...
It's possible, but don't you think the damage of
yes,
if this was their plan all along to do this, they couldn't possibly have thought, oh, this is better than just being honest from the get-go.
Just saying up front that it's $80. Yeah.
These guys are smarter than that. Something got goofed up, or worst case scenario, after the press release came out, they knew something was goofed up, but they said, or they had direction to not correct it at the convention.
I think that's what it is.
Right.
I truly believe that this cut and paste is basically a cut and paste, and then they did not correct the price.
Yeah.
Because it's a Pulse exclusive, but it says Hasbro Pulse and participating retailers.
And so there's a lot of this stuff that comes at the beginning,
Yeah.
When you see the press releases, if they have like 10 different like toys in a row, they all say this Hasbro 4 and up, approximate retail price, pre-order on da 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 da.
Yes.
You know
And
what
I
mean?
think
So
that's why that's like a
that whole
canned
paragraph. Yeah, they cut and paste that paragraph over and over, and then the guy sending it out is to go back in and just change the price on each paragraph.
And you know what?
He
like
may have missed one. Yeah, he may have missed one.
And this is why I want to give them the benefit, because even on their packaging, right, there's misspellings on the back in the descriptions. And I mean, we all know that, right? Like, you think that
things have happened.
Yeah. So give them the benefit of the doubt. So I'm not going to talk about, like, to me, like, oh, was this a mistake? Did they know the price was wrong? Whatever. I'm interested in the actual price that they're saying this thing is, and whether or not that should be the price based on the information that we could know. So, like I said, Evans did a whole video, what makes a deluxe, blah, blah, blah. He had all these graphics. He had unit cost versus tooling cost. He said there's the little no face guy right there, the guy with the green head with no smile. He had one with a smile, one without a smile. And basically said for like a new figure, if you get a lot of sales, then you get a happy face because it helps, right? Like, then the investment of the tooling cost pays off because you had a lot of sales. If you don't have a lot of sales, then you get a sad face because you put in a lot of money for the investment, right? And then he talked about what happens with other figures, right? So he had that other graph where it shows, I'm not wearing my glasses, but newly tooled ones are on the top, then partially tooled, which he said Marvel Legends does fantastically because everybody's wearing spandex, so it's easy to do. Then you got the repaints and the orange, and then you got the re-releases down at the bottom for like new collectors, people getting into collecting. So thought that was pretty interesting because he says the tooling cost is an investment, right? And it's not spread across the unit costs at all. It's like they choose to do a product, they're going to invest in the product. It's like a restaurant, right? Like saying, hey, we're going to open a restaurant, which means we're going to rent a place, we're going to buy a bunch of pans, we're going to buy a grill, and then we're going to sell hamburgers for $15, right? They're not making the hamburger $45 and until they pay off like, the investment to open the restaurant. They're making it $15 to pay for the $5 worth of materials to make each burger. And they're hoping that profit will eventually pay off that investment cost, right? So that's how I understand that.
Yeah,
concept.
No, I hear that. Offline in our chat, you saw what I said, theorizing that,
yes,
hey, the INT-4
it's going to be one run.
Right, like there's only so much you can do with that, right? So it's all new tooling for that, and probably a lot of new tooling for the figure. I don't know specifically what, or if there's any possible reuse, maybe legs and arms, if anything, maybe. I don't know. Maybe the body, but certainly not the head.
Okay, so
Jonathan, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, like, it seems like if they were hell bent on producing the INT-4 with that Imperial warlord, I can't remember his name. It seems like they probably should have secured more sales from whatever other retailers, or made it like a Shop Disney in Disney parks co-exclusive with Pulse like they've done in the past, so that it could help, they sell more units, it could drive down the per unit cost, because they're not wrong in that other TVC products like the whatever it is, the Picador and the whatever, the Geonosian Beast, that just recently came out. I think that's at the same kind of price point. So they're not wrong. They're not wrong about that. But at the same time, it seems like it's just Seems like it's a bit much. Yeah.
I feel like the INT-4 could potentially come out again, right, with a different color palette and maybe even somehow, I don't know how they repaint or redeco that to. Were there other mini rigs that just looked like the INT-4 but had different colors? I don't
think so.
No.
Right.
No.
So, like, what kind of like small changes could they make, for doing like one of these halves? Now, Jonathan's saying he doesn't understand the chart explanation. So why doesn't like the repaints and the reissues come down when tooling cost is not a thing? Well, that's because he's saying the tooling cost is the investment and it's not characterized into the thing. But here's the real
it just gives them higher margins on those other reissues, repaints, so that they can reinvest those profits into R&D and like tooling on new stuff in the line in the future.
And I think that what's happened here is they've also done this thing where they've said we have retail partner exclusives and we're telling them the suggested retail price is X. And if we lower the price, right, then we have to take that loss because Target and Walmart probably have a deal that say the MSRP needs to be 75% of what we pay you. So if their MSRP is 20, then they get 5, right? But if it's 27, they get 7. So if they do a repack, they obviously don't want to take 5. And then selling it on Pulse should be the way for them to charge less for something, in my opinion, because they've now cut out that huge markup that the retailers have to take. So if a Vintage Collection Deluxe figure costs $30 at Target, which I think it's up there, then they should be able to sell it for $20 on their website. But they can't do that because then they devalue their own, right, with the retailer. They got to deal with the retailers.
They can't undercut the retailer, Yeah.
So Jonathan's saying, you could repaint that thing with the original colors and then put it in a retro box. Thanos here saying,
however, hold on. That should only apply to toys and figures and things, board games, T-shirts, whatever that go to Walmart and Target. If they're a Pulse exclusive, then you could argue you don't need such a huge markup because, do you know what I mean? Because the store isn't getting this thing.
Right.
Alert, what is this?
Right?
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Thanos sent over 444 joules.
What does that do?
I think it's kind of like a super chat.
Oh,
cool. Or something like that.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah. So really appreciate that. Okay.
But
So
do you get what I'm saying? Right?
Yes.
Does that make sense, or I don't know?
Yeah. So the Canada price is different. The EU price is different, and this is a whole kind of separate, which we will touch up a little bit at the end because I do want to talk about that because I think that's a big deal. The price difference. But getting back to what he said was the unit cost is the weight of the plastic, right? So if this is why Black Series costs more, right? If they have the same number of articulations, because a Black Series has more plastic weight.
Right.
Logical. Right. So if all the labor is equal, the connecting of the things and spitting on them, right, then or whatever, then it's the plastic weight that makes the difference. Then you got the deco, which is like every time you want to recolor. And if you look at the INT-4, it does have some different colorations on the outside. Then it's got some interior panels. So you got some deco on there. And then the shipping size weight. So the size of the box, packing it up. And I don't think this is necessarily the shipping to you and me because, I mean, for the most part, you're paying for that if you have a membership or you're paying for it if you don't buy $75 worth of stuff.
So the container coming from China is what it is.
Right. And that's pretty expensive to put a container on a ship. That's why there's pretty much like zero room in those containers, right? They want to maximize the space in there.
It's not as much as you'd think. If they're going ground and just doing a boat, It's not that much. That's how those places like Temu and Shein, God, you know that. That's how they got away with that crap, because you're talking about a tanker that's got, I don't know, 5,000 containers on it, right? Or whatever. And each one of those, have paid X amount. I mean, port fees, maybe, taxes, maybe, but not shipping. I'm sorry, I don't buy that.
Okay. So it's not that expensive then. I just thought it was super expensive to put a container on a ship.
It's not. I mean, no, we get, so it's just for an example, like, right? We would get equipment at our job, and it would be like, maybe, and I'm talking like equipment that's the size of my house, and we would get, they would charge us like $1,000, $1,500.
Oh, that's not bad. But I wonder what else is going in that container that to offset the shipping. Because have you ever seen this, like, the show called Shipping Wars, where these people have these small trucks and they would like bid to like move these big bulky items? Did you guys ever remember that show? And then the guy with the big truck, he'd be moving like a big gigantic statue from one location to another, and then he'd pick up 3 other things to throw on his flatbed to make more money. So combining shipping. Okay, so anyways, here are the 2 boxes. So I feel like the boxes are similar. They both come with a carded figure, right?
Do you think that flap costs more?
Well, because you can stack 2 of those next to each other and protect that flap, so it's not going to take up any more room. I feel like the packaging very similar, so the cost should be fairly equal between the 2 of those. I could not find the weight, but I look at the 2 vehicles and I think like they probably weigh about the same, because this INT-4 is hollow, right? Stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I subtracted out the figure, because what I wanted to do was say, well, the Warlord is probably a deluxe, right? Because he's got that cloth jacket. And the Trooper's pretty standard, because that's, been out before, right? For the most part. So there's nothing new with that Trooper, in my opinion. So there's still a little $5 difference. One's $5 cheaper. Not that big of a difference in the price, but still cheaper. And then we get to the other part, which is the spitting on the thing, right? So the INT-4, this is just some of the points I pointed out. Obviously, you have to double it for the other side, but the wing folds. It's got that side gun. It's got the front gun. It's got the roof that comes off. I don't think the seat moves forward and backwards or anything like that, but it does have some deco in there and stuff like that. So got some of that. And then you get the ATRT, and I'm like, you can see the screws holding all the joints in the legs, so somebody had to screwdriver all those. And I'm just thinking to myself, well, okay, so this one just completely outdid the INT-4 for labor costs. And so based on this chart,
the labor
itself makes me feel like it should have been
comparable.
Right, which it's not. So,
but this calls into question what I was saying all along. I think is with the ATRT, with minimal changes, you can get a lot more reuse out of that. So maybe they are baking that factor into the pricing and say, hey, we can take a hit on the ATRT a little bit because we know we're going to sell a bunch of those when we do repaints for Clone Wars ones.
Well, do you also look at this ATRT and go, yeah, we're going to sell a boatload of those because that thing is freaking cool, has a lot of articulation, and is priced under $70 versus, hey, here's this ship that has 5 moving parts, and then we just charge the same as the Black Series ATRT.
Yeah, maybe they don't expect to sell as many. I don't know.
I don't think they do expect to sell as much of these because it came from a movie that, like, while I think a lot of people enjoyed it, it's not necessarily getting like rave reviews or whatever, and it's from like one short sequence from the film, and all it really is a nostalgia like nod
Right.
to the mini rig of the past. So how many people are really going to be down for that? I mean, I'm getting it, but like,
Well,
I can't
here's
imagine they're going to be getting
let
as
me
many
answer your
sales.
question with an
Yeah.
answer. How you don't hear me often say I buy that much vintage collection. As a matter of fact, you pretty much hear me say I'm not really buying 3.75 inch stuff, right? I was
Yep.
100% going to buy that mini rig.
Oh, really? At that
Yeah.
price point? Yeah.
At $51.99. I was going to get it.
Yeah.
And then it's basically $30 more. And I'm like, oh, hell no. You know what I mean? Like there's no justification to me to say $28 more. I mean, if I'm going to spend that, I want to buy that, the other ATRT that just came out. Why would I get, you know what I mean? But I 100% not a TVC collector, but there's all my vintage Star Wars figures up there. And, there's still a place here for those, that size, and to get ships or whatever.
Classic vintage thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I saw that X-Wing, I was like, oh man, that thing's super cool. I mean, I just recently got that cheap X-Wing at Target just to put with my vintage figures. I'm trying to figure out where I put it, but I was going to get it, but I'm not going to get it for that.
You guys might have already talked about this when one of the weeks that I was out, because I think that's when they dropped it. But like, I think Rada's a good example, maybe. What you're talking about, like, I don't have hardly, and I have like 2 maybe vintage figures, if that, and that was just a one-off thing. But like, I'd rather get the Rada, even though he's completely out of scale from everything that I've got, because it looks like a better deal.
Yeah. It looks way better than the Black Series in my mind. Yeah. I like the lower half is not like that softer plastic or whatever. But when I saw Rada's price point, I was like, oh my God, no. You know what I mean? Like, I can see if that was like maybe a little bit more than a deluxe, but you can get a 2-pack of figures cheaper than Rhoda, right?
I'm not saying I'm happy with the price. I'm just saying between the two of them, like if I had to get him, I'd probably get
the TVC version.
TVC, yeah.
But so it's crazy. And then the second part of that story is this: it's $80 here in the States, but if it's like this international cost just as crazy that they don't even take into consideration the currency exchange rates when they're making their prices for overseas. You know what I mean?
But people in the UK at least can keep me honest on this, but I think I read somewhere that at least with Pulse, VAT is included. It like tax is not included in the pricing in the States. So not that accounts for the entire difference, but that is some of it at least.
But see, it's what's your guys' tax rate over there too? Because if you don't have tax in your state, it's cheaper for you than it is for me.
I can tell you.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
If I think we're 875 or something like that, or 925 or whatever.
We're 7 or 8, something like that too. I'm not sure the exact amount, but it's something like that, 7 or 8.
Mine's in that vicinity as well.
Yeah, but they're not like a state like Oregon that doesn't have sales tax, right? Like they're not adding sales tax to that, or to because it's based on where you live.
Yeah.
That
That's probably why
in the price.
That's probably why a lot of things aren't included, because different states have different tax rates. That's right. So that's probably why the what we call sales tax, is not included in our prices, because some states don't. Right. There's a 0. In other states, it's 20%. You know what I mean? Like it's just every state is different. So that's probably why. because
It goes beyond
rate
it goes
across the
beyond
whole.
the states too. There's some like cities and counties that will
Yeah,
have
that also
different
add another
way-
tax
right.
on. You're right. Yeah, that's true.
So
The thing is about that conversation that I think is funny to me, because I totally agree with Eric though in the situation of the tooling cost is a factor in the price of the INT-4. I truly believe what Eric said is correct. The thing is, it's funny to me that a video comes out talking about
it's
nearly
not.
the subject, and we're told that that is not included in the unit cost. And then we're explained
Well,
how a unit cost is arrived at. And
the
then
interest
when you use what you're told and you apply it, it doesn't seem to add up.
the interesting thing though is I'm not sure what like manufacturing of consumer goods in general. I'm not an expert on the accounting side for all of this, but uh, generally speaking, R&D costs get to be like tax write-offs to a certain degree, right?
Sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm not sure if the production of the tooling goes into that or just the everything leading up to that point. Like you'd need some industry experts to confirm or correct that, but I'm sure that also kind of comes into play to a certain extent.
Depending on its cost, they could absolutely use it as a capex. And
Yeah.
if that's the
So-
case, yeah, like he said, it's an investment, but it's a tax write-off. It's still an expense. It's still an expense.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's still an
Yeah,
expense,
Yeah. And there's also
And-
like you also factor in other things to like cost of goods sold, including like marketing costs and
I was just getting ready to say, how are we not? I mean, they just have given up on marketing because that's not in there. Or is that just absorbed in the rest of the business?
No, Dan, they don't pay us.
Oh,
We are their marketing. This
that's
is
right.
this is their marketing right here.
free advertising.
You know what I
because
mean?
You're spending 40 minutes talking about their
yeah,
product.
but I mean it
Yeah.
costs money to go to all the big conventions and
Sure.
whatnot.
And then they write that off because those are expenses.
Again, another
No,
So it's an interesting thing to me because there's another toy maker out there that used to work for Hasbro, and he tells a story. It told it maybe once or twice. It was all about Yondu. It was a Yondu double pack or something like that for
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy, and he wanted to add the whistling arrow, right, for Yondu. Otherwise, he
I
was
think I remember hearing about this. Yeah.
coming with anything, and it was like, you have a 1 penny amount left, so to get that you have to cut these 2 pennies over here. You know what I mean? I'm just saying pennies. I don't know what the cost was, but for making like a 2-pack of figures, they have like a price that they can reach, a cost, right, that's acceptable to reach. Yeah, I hear it too. It's like phone
it's me.
silence. Okay, so you reach like a threshold, and then you can't put anything else in that package. So they're working with this like money tolerance. But you'd think that at this point where things are obviously becoming more expensive, and if fans really did come first, something like the INT-4 wouldn't be $80 because they might have absorbed a little bit more of that since they're not going to retailers and they're not taking it in the pants for the retailer agreement. Because here's my understanding. Hasbro makes something for X number of dollars. Like I'm just gonna throw some fake numbers out there. They're fake numbers. An action figure takes $1.50 for them to make and package. They sell it to Target for $5. The suggested retail is $20. So Target's making $15, and that's how come they can put it on sale for 50% off and still make money on that product. Hasbro still got their $5. They still made their 50% profit, whatever, on the item. Now, they're not selling that item to Target. They can still charge what they would have charged at Target, $50 for this INT-4, and they still are making money because they didn't have to sell it to somebody for 75% less.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's like saying that item they sell at for 20, that Target is making $15 on, and Hasbro's making $5. Well,
Right.
why can't they charge $10 and now Hasbro's making $10? You know what I mean? Like,
or they increase the quantity and secure more sales up front by getting like Disney to put it in the parks and on the
Sure.
Disney store
Yeah.
or whatever, right?
Yeah, but I also think about this argument. If and the way I think about this is, let's say I was going to buy one, right? I did, I saw somebody's post saying they were going to get 3, and then they threw up the $80. So if somebody who was going to buy 3 at $50 chooses to now buy 1 at 80, did they make more money or less money? And then if they cut out 15 people who were going to get 1, you know what I mean? Did they make more money or less money? That's all I'm saying. Like,
Well,
if it was priced more reasonably, they would have gotten more sales. They would have made more money.
yeah, I mean, there are a lot of variables that go into
Yeah.
like those kind of forecasts and pricing models and whatnot. But
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, I get it. Like, hey, let's charge 80. We sell like 100. We're going to make our money back. But let's charge 50, and then we'll sell 2,000. Yeah. You know, it's that whole thought process on it. So, all right. Anyways, we're not going to solve the problem here, obviously. But I just think it's like really an interesting conversation to have about where the price is. And I just felt it was pretty timely since I saw this other video explaining to me what the price should be. And it didn't end up making sense with the price to me. I mean, you guys decide.
Unless we got it wrong.
Right.
Because what if Hasbro needs exclusives at Hasbro Pulse for them to make the money? Like, what if it's the other way around?
They're trying to sell the subscriptions and whatnot. But
like, what if it's like you take a $25 figure, say a normal classified series, 28, whatever it is, like, or Black Series, whatever, and they're selling it to Target for only like $1 or $1.50, and Target's making that $25 profit or something, and Hasbro's barely getting any profit from it at all. They might make a quarter or 50 cents per figure. Right. And so they need to sell an exclusive and make almost 100% of that as profit in order to make up for that loss that they're doing when they send something to Target or Walmart.
But I don't even think that they're doing it a lot. They wouldn't create a bunch of product to sell to Walmart and Target and then at a loss. Their profit is just much smaller than
but what I'm saying is, what if it's smaller than we even think? What if it's like on the order of a quarter or 50 cents per figure?
It could be, but they're not losing money if Walmart and Target send that stuff to like Ross on a liquidation, because Target and Walmart has already paid for those products.
Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah.
It's just wild to me. Like, before we drop this conversation, for me, the biggest thing impacting this whole conversation is comparing it to the Black Series ATRT. That those are like. No one looking at those two products and the scales would say the INT-4 should be the same price as the and I think the Black Series ATRT is priced pretty well. It just seems like
I agree with you.
It seems like TBC fans are getting shafted on this.
So
I don't think the answer is to raise the prices for Black Series stuff.
Look,
if anyone's listening,
I get the argument that like the cost between a Black Series and a TBC figure is comparable in labor charge, right? I understand that. Yeah. That makes 100%. Yep, right. It's the same. Weight of plastic, that's where you get a change. Packaging is also where you get a change, right? Because TVC figures are smaller, you can fit more in the box. They take up less space. There's less packaging typically because they're on card backs, right? For the vehicle, that's why I tried to stay away from putting the image of the Black Series ATRT versus the INT-4, because that 100% makes zero sense. Because if that's the case, then the vintage collection ATRT should be the same price. But can you imagine if they tried to say that those two were the same price?
Yeah.
So that's why I compared the ATRT to the INT-4, because I feel like they were super comparable. Now, the thing is, they have another $80 vintage collection vehicle. It's the one for the Battle in the Arena, right? The one, the little cart.
Yeah.
So he's got the figure, but it's like two parts to the vehicle or whatever, right? It's like a front and a back.
It's
the part that carries the figures, and then where the rider goes.
Right.
So
it's the beast, and then it's towing the carriage. Yeah.
So it seems like, okay, yeah, I can see, but still that shouldn't even be $80 in my opinion.
Right.
But it does have a lot more labor costs than this INT-4.
And there's not going to be, it's another case of that thing getting no reuse.
Right. And just the videos that are popping up in my feed, people that are not happy with this price point right here, that have decided they're, this is going to drive folks away from TVC, not towards TVC.
Yeah.
That's the hard part about this. And it sucks because I like Star Wars. I like the idea of both the brands, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say. Anyways, all right. It's not sustainable. Yes, it's no longer about space. It's about price. All right. So did everybody get their Comic-Con exclusive action figures that are still available for order but sold out at the convention?
Not delivered yet, but
okay. Well, they weren't shipping till September 1st, right?
Well, they said up till so like one part of the order is in transit, the other is not. So
okay. So I feel like it was super interesting. There's a couple of items that are actually sold out as of yesterday when I pulled these. The Professor X actually looks like it's sold out, and it went up for pre-order. Had a pre-order thing, so it felt like there was an additional group in there. Yeah, the Fatal Fluffies is still available for pre-order, so it looks like that's an additional run. I don't want to talk about the idea of exclusives. I know you guys have heard me. We've talked about it before. But to me, this is like, this is a sign that they wanted to sell out at Comic-Con, to me. That they did not take the amount of stuff they had previously taken, because they did not end up selling out before at Comic-Con. Right? So they created, like, in my mind, an artificial demand for some of this stuff.
I mean, I understand the perspective of someone going to the con, but there's, for the vast majority of stuff, there's still inventory available, right? Like, if you wanted something, you had an opportunity to get it, or at least pre-order from a second run. So, like, for me,
do you remember
for me that tells me that Hasbro did the right thing, because it allowed everyone the opportunity to get something.
They did the right thing, except for calling them exclusives. Because it's not an exclusive if you're going to have a second run for your online sales.
Yeah.
Because if that's the case, and we would go back in time, then they should have produced a second run of the Kenner colored Boba Fett's on that special card back, so that everybody who wanted one could have got one. But they didn't do it. You know why? Because it was a Comic-Con exclusive.
But they realized that they can make a lot of money from
Right.
people like me who aren't going to the con, that want the con exclusive,
Right.
and they can
And
have
that
their cake and eat it too, right?
sure. Did you guys see my Comic Con exclusive Thunderbolts figure? I bought it on
No.
Amazon,
Okay.
but it's a Comic Con exclusive.
Is that a single?
Yeah, no, it was in the 2-pack. It was the
well, they
2-pack.
just-
It was 2-pack,
Was
right?
the
Okay.
Comic Con? It was the Comic Con exclusive.
Well, Hasbro had the
Did you guys see my Comic
celebration
Con
in
exclusive
Japan.
Red Hulk that I bought at Target?
When they target.
Amazon did sell con exclusives though last year for Celebration Japan. They had the Ronin.
They did have the Death Head too, but what I'm saying is, it's like if you're gonna have exclusives and then just sell them like the Fatal Fluffies, then I might as well just be able to call all of. Oh, do you see my GI Joe Comic Con exclusive bazooka in the red shirt? I got this one at. You get what I'm saying? It's just it's a facetious way to say, like, I mean, it's just a marketing ploy. Yeah,
it reminds me of an old if you remember the stand-up comedian who passed in the early or late 2000s, Mitch Hedberg. He had a bit where he's talking about like his how many bedrooms do you have in your place, and he's like, I could call my kitchen a bedroom or a living room.
Right. Let me tell you. Let's get back. I'm listening to this thing. I don't know what this donut brand will make more money if Hasbro does on the NT4s. This is how they could honestly sell the NT4 for $50 without the figure. Do you really want to know? Because that's the price, right? It's like $52 without the deluxe figure. And this is how they could do it. They could send them to Regal and AMC
and say you can put popcorn in it
and just call them popcorn buckets.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You'll have to.
And
it'll still be a little small for that, but you could say like M&Ms or like Milk Duds or whatever. Milk Dud bucket.
The one for Supergirl where the little motorcycle thing held like 4 pieces of popcorn.
Okay.
So I mean, yeah.
All right. No.
Yeah.
Fair point.
All right. Before we do bragging camp, let me do this for a second. I want to point out. I want to show off a couple of things that I think are really kind of cool. Where is it? Allow. Okay, I thought this was kind of interesting. Let's see if it comes up. Playmates is going to do a Kickstarter for the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Dragon Zord.
Yeah.
Tell me why.
That just seems weird. Yeah.
Yeah, why should this be a Kickstarter?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Surely, like, they would have.
Don't call me Shirley.
Well, I'm just thinking, like, when they acquired the rights to Power Rangers, for something like Power Rangers, you don't buy the toy rights and don't plan on making Zords.
That's sure, but I mean, like, all the other Zords ended up at Target. And
no, I know, but like what I'm getting at is if they weren't already planning on making this, they failed from the start.
All right.
Playmates.
Okay, I just thought that was kind of interesting to see, like, Playmates actually getting ready to do Kickstarter. John, I know you're in for that, right?
No, I've got my original one. I don't need one.
Okay, all right.
But it is kind of cool looking. But it's really cool looking. But it is also weird that they gave a Kickstarter. Yeah.
I also wanted to point this one out. J&L Toys. This is Toshiro Mifune, and if you are familiar with Seven Samurai and stuff like that,
Kurosawa films,
yeah. This is actually really super cool. You know what I mean? And I know he's been up for a while. They got 115 backers. They still got a ways to go, but there's still 20 days. You know what I mean? And it looks pretty cool. I'll just click on this just to kind of show it off. Let's see. So it's $90, but he's got multiple heads, all the samurai swords. What?
Look at all those weapons. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This thing is super, and it's 1/12 scale. So if you're a 1/12 scale collector, I think this looks really cool. You get 2 of them for 175, 3 of them for 260. You can have him fight himself. This could be like the Matrix with 6 of them, right? But I think it's pretty cool. So if you're looking at Kickstarters and stuff like that, and you like Toshiro Mifune, or even that genre or whatever, yeah, not a bad idea in my opinion, right? To back a Kickstarter, bringing a classic character to life. I think it looks.
Didn't George Lucas want him to play Obi-Wan originally?
Yes, I think so. Yeah,
really?
Kind of basing like the character a little bit.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's pretty cool. So, you saw the slide. It's time for bragging camp. Does anybody have anything they want to show off this week?
I got nothing.
I put everything out that I got on the.
Okay.
Let's see.
I only found this at Ross.
Oh, Ross, huh?
And I'm not really a 3 3/4 inch collector, but for $35, it was like,
yeah, that's a cool set.
Yeah,
I
like taking the transformer out and seeing if I can actually make it transform, which 90% of the time I can't. I mess something up. So that's pretty much it. The other thing that I did was, if you guys saw my video about that little chicken stand, the little scenes that they sell at like Target, they don't work with 6-inch action figures. But what I did was I went and got this brick background, and I made like a back wall, and I just put the menu boards and stuff up there, and I'm using the actual pieces from that set, and then just kind of decorating. And I cut out that little thing. It's supposed to be a window, but it looks more like a painting. But
that's cool.
I just did that.
That's cool.
So to me, it was like a really cool way to use existing pieces that look pretty good that I didn't have to make, right? For creating a little diorama piece on a shelf.
I have to get going.
Okay, Dan. We'll see you next week. All right, guys. Later.
Yeah, I when I first came to the house here, I think it was on Sunday, I actually did a video opening all the boxes that were up here, and there was a couple Transformers, some G.I. Joe, some Marvel Legends, some Star Wars, so there was a little bit of everything in there.
Yeah, I saw that you were trying to sell off some of your seller trade or whatever you said, and then I was like, are those clone figures
for a long time? Yeah.
That you couldn't find in store?
In Target, so those were a pain to find.
Yeah, those ones immediately sold out in John's store, and now we know why.
I only have one each of those. I'm
just messing around. Oh, so my story of how I got those figures, by the way, I walked into the Target where I know that the guy who runs the department holds stuff off for people. And I walked in there and he wasn't there, but there was another employee. And I just said, I'm not going to say his name. Let me just say his name was Bill. That's not correct. I just walked up to the employee and I said, hey, Bill told me to let somebody know to go get those clone figures for me. And he goes, oh, and I go, the ones in the bubble, like one each. And he's like, oh, okay. And he went in the back and brought them out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got what it is I was redoing my pegboard wall here at the house because I got some more G.I. Joe on card, and I actually had a couple of Star Wars to put up, the retro looking ones with the racetrack for Black Series.
Okay.
And I ran out of space. And then I went and I said, you know what? I'm actually quite sick of these bubble ones because they never, even hanging them on a pegboard, they flop side to side because they're not square. They don't butt up against each other right. I hate these bubble packaging. You know what I mean? It just, and you can't stack them in a box because they start rocking. So I just said, well, maybe I'll sell those. And then that kind of led to, well, I never got the full run of this one. So let's sell those too, because I don't want to go back and try to get those. And then it was, let's pare down the Spider-Man and X-Men collection because I don't really need all those figures. I'll just keep the ones that are my favorites. You know what I mean? So I ended up making that video and just saying, if anybody wants them, let's work out something out, you know. And if not, I'll put them up on eBay and just sell them one by one, you know.
So there's a restaurant called Dave's Hot Chicken or whatever, and they had like these X-Men 97 meals. Yeah. Did anybody get any of those
meals there? Yeah.
They
just opened one of those.
Here.
Yeah, they just opened one of those near us, and Dad and I went, and my dad doesn't like spicy food, and I was like, Dad, it's in the name, Dave's Hot Chicken. You're not gonna like anything here. He's like, no, I'll just get the lowest spice. And then so he gets their like level 0 or whatever, and he takes one bite, goes up, guess you have to finish all these. And he passed them over to me because they were, even 0 was too hot for him. Then I ordered my food, and I'm like, damn it, now I got to eat twice as much. I can't eat all this. You know?
Jonathan will give you 50 for all your stuff.
For the whole lot. Yeah, thanks, Jonathan. You know, appreciate it.
All right. Anyways, D23 is going on, and did you guys see the Muppet Babies?
I like them. They look great.
I saw this from NECA's post on Facebook before it started flooding, and I'm like, I was so excited to see these.
Yeah.
I grew up on Muppet Babies, and that theme song, I know John was singing or trying to sing it at the beginning of the stream, but that is etched into my brain.
Yeah. I love the thing is I've often said, why isn't Muppet Babies on a streaming service? I can't believe, but then someone told me that the little clips they put in it,
yes,
in order to re-air it, they'd have to get the rights to every single one of those clips again, and that's almost impossible.
Yeah. Yep. That is precisely why. The only thing that could have made this set better, and I'm not sure if it looks like they might be doing 2-packs by the look of things, right? But the only thing that could have made this better is to have like Nanny's legs, just the legs.
Just the legs. Oh my gosh.
You can make the Nanny's legs. You know what? So get a pair of kids' shoes, right? When your daughter grows out of like her shoes, get some pool noodles, put socks on them, then stick them in the shoes.
Oh, that'd be way too big for this, but like you could take
use
like
a Barbie doll size.
Barbie legs and just paint.
Yeah, could you use Barbie doll?
Yeah.
Oh, once you paint the legs, that you increase the value of them.
The only problem I have, like, if these are not very articulated, if they're fairly rigid, then they might be something okay. But I really just have a problem with NECA. It's like that's the thing that gets me with some of this stuff is I'm like, I would 100% buy this if it was done by any other company but NECA. And it's kind of like with something like this, I'm sort of like, all right, well, can I buy these and just leave them in the box? And it's hard for me to say that because
you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
What about NECA? You don't like the plastic or the
he thinks that they are breakable. They just fall apart.
They use a different type of plastic. Yeah, I've encountered that. Sometimes like the paint like deco that they apply ends up looking like chalky or like pasty as well. I don't know. But like generally speaking, from what I've seen, these look great. It looks like they've been doing really well with the Sesame Street stuff. So I'm excited. I'm gonna be all in on all of the Muppets.
Because what's funny is I had a couple of you saw there's if you looked at the video of stuff I was getting rid of, there's an elf figure in there, and they had a couple of those, and I while I was pulling these things off the rack. So just this week, I opened one of the elf figures, and his head immediately fell off.
Oh my gosh,
And
that's
that
no
was a
good.
NECA, and that's a NECA.
Well,
And
good thing that thing came from
kind of
Ross.
why, like, that's kind of why I'm just like, man, NECA they're so bad with quality control. Like it would have, like it
A bit dusty.
it essentially like was probably off in the packaging, but because the way the bubble was wrapped around it, it wasn't moving. But as soon as I pulled him out of the bubble, his head was still in the bubble. Do you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you that's 99% of the reason, John, why I don't buy any of the NECA stuff I see at Ross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to
All
be
right.
something like it has to be something I really, really wanted to go out and get. Actually, I recently went out to eBay to get some of the cartoon turtles I was missing because while I don't like the way they articulate and the plastic and whatnot, they look great on a shelf.
Yeah. They do look good. I mean, these things look good. I don't know why they all have their arms out to their sides like that.
Because that's how kids walk. Babies walk like that.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, what are these anyways?
Not something I'm buying.
They look like little like chibi statues or something.
I think they're like something like that. Okay, moving on. Did you see these?
The Loth kittens? Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
the Loth
Are these
kitten.
going to be like super animatronic things or what?
I believe they're gonna probably because they look very realistic, right?
Did you see that they're doing like is this the other? Because they showed
the no.
They showed the Ewok. They showed the Ewok it's going to be. That's not in this. It's not that.
No. These are props from Ahsoka.
Oh,
no, they look really cool. Yeah, they look cool.
But John, what you're referring to is they're coming out with the Ewok, the Hutlet, and the Grogu.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to put the pictures. Yeah.
See,
they look cool.
Hoping there'd be a Yoda, and then I would buy the Yoda. But if there's a Grogu.
No, there's a Grogu.
Then I'll probably get the Ewok. Grogu's not Yoda, so I'm not getting Grogu. I only collect Yoda. Yeah. I'll probably get the Ewok one then.
Yeah. Very derpy with the tongue.
Looks cool. All right.
I mean, depending on price. Did they give a price point for those?
Yeah, $500 more than the INT-4. No, they're cheaper than the INT-4. They're only like $60.
Really? I thought I was expecting them to be around $200.
The Ewok and all the accessories are on sale at Disneyland, but they haven't made their way to Disney World yet. When they do go to Disney World, based on what I read, all three will be available, and they'll be at the Droid Depot.
They're at the Droid. Yeah, I thought because they're going to the Droid Depot and they actually work with the droid somehow. Yeah, I actually thought
probably around $200
to $250 each.
No, less than that. I bet.
Nanta Dead did. Okay, so anyways, yeah, I don't know. All right, so early on, I found they had posters of artwork from like this. Obviously, looks like Ahsoka, right? Season 2.
Yeah,
that's these are there's going to be lightsaber battles, stuff like that. So using this as a segue into the TV and movie news you didn't know you needed. Mr. B is saying $99.
And the accessory packs are $30 or $29.99.
Right. So Star Wars Upside Down Punisher was announced. No, that's Starfighter.
Upside Down Punisher. Yeah.
Eric has identified the Jolly Roger symbol there with an upside down X-wing and the Rebels
it looks like
logo.
An X-wing. It could be. Yeah, but it's definitely the Rebel Starbird.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah.
Looks pretty cool. If you guys haven't seen the trailer, it was floating around on the internet.
Now,
looks pretty good.
I did
not really tell me anything.
Now, is he really a Jedi? I didn't get to see it.
No.
Is he really
a
lightsaber?
So to recap, what I saw was some kids looking at a ship that's underneath a carpet or a blanket or a tarp.
Yeah.
And then Gosling comes in and says it's covered for a reason or whatever, and then covers it back up. And then there's some
G17 Imperial Reaper.
Yeah. So then there's some flashy scenes and stuff like that. And
I sent you the
Didn't
teaser they played last night, right? Did you guys see that?
No, by
I
the time
saw
every time I've clicked on something on YouTube, it's no longer up.
it's not
So
no
they
longer
keep
No,
taking
no.
playable.
it down.
Yeah.
The thing I sent in the group chat. Go check it out. It was from a
Okay, I'll look.
Mexican account.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the whole teaser.
Okay.
They
Yeah, what
haven't
they're doing.
flagged it because the original like post was in Spanish, and Disney's lawyers don't know to look in Spanish.
Gotcha. Okay.
Well, it might be gone now, but
No, I'm looking at it right now. Yeah.
oh, okay. Well,
Okay,
so
okay.
Eric's got it. And then looks like Ultron's back, but this time played by James Spader's human form for Vision Quest. And I thought
That
it was
looks really
pretty
good.
funny because he basically is like, I'm your dad.
Hmm.
And then apparently this morning or whenever they announced Shang-Chi and the Wreckage of Time.
Wait,
Okay.
did you make that up? I
No,
didn't see that.
I saw that on Twitter, so I thought that was accurate, that it was announced. Is that did I get spoofed?
I'm not sure.
Okay, maybe I got spoofed.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
Lanterns comes out tomorrow, right?
Oh, does it? Okay.
Yeah, so Lanterns
Yep.
is out tomorrow.
Are they dropping?
And then
Are they still dropping more than one
I
episode?
think that there were going to be a couple episodes
I'll tell
from the
you in a sec.
get-go, but they are doing, from what I read last week, they're doing like one a week. I did not read anywhere that they were dropping them.
I thought the first week had a dump of 2 or 3 of them or something.
2 or
like that.
3, I think, is what they normally do. If you're into Reacher dropped 3 episodes.
Yeah, there's a new Reacher. Yeah.
It's just
I
one a
tell
week.
you, that guy, I don't know if he needs to take some acting classes. I felt like the first episode and a half, he was just reading lines. You go there, keep your head on a swivel.
Okay.
I'll call you later. I memorized your phone numbers. I will text you. Call me when you get the car. I'm like, what? Who is this dude? And then they came out with a whole bunch of movies. The screenshot here is to show you from the live action Tangled. that Agatha is going to be in the live action Tangled.
His mother, Gothel.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's playing her Agatha all along character. Did they just borrow the wardrobe?
She was fan casted in this role, essentially.
Really?
Yeah, probably from the Agatha all along. But anyways, they released a list of movies: Hex, Frozen 3, Clay, Zootopia 3. Oswald's going to be like a TV series, I think. The live action Tangled, Lilo and Stitch, which they made it seem like it's going to be live action, but pretty much it's animated. It's another animated live action because they did not go find Lilo they did not go find a creature
alien
to run around, right? It's animated.
Yeah.
Coco 2 and Incredibles 3.
There's more that's missing off this, but yeah.
Yeah, obviously there are. Yeah. I just couldn't.
Is Oswald like the penguin Oswald?
No, Oswald the Lucky Rabbit.
And I think it's going to be live action animated.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Jon Favreau made it.
Is Clayface that thing, or is Clay something else?
No, that's something else. Another cartoon. I think it's an original cartoon something. So they were announcing a bunch of that. They showed this new old Doom thing, and what I thought was super cool about
I watched
seeing it again is when he revived these Sentinels. That was the first HasLab, right? So, because those Sentinels look like the HasLab to me, right? The HasLab Sentinel, which to me do they look like the HasLab one or the cartoon? I feel like they kind of.
I think they're more like the cartoon, if I'm honest.
Yeah, that head on the right.
You might be right. You might be right.
The head on the right looks more cartoony. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. Maybe I just didn't see it very well.
I was glad that they actually, to me, right away, they looked like Sentinels. So I was like, oh, cool. They actually made them look like Sentinels
it's not the weird
like metallic blobs like they did in the other one. In that X-Men movie where they were weird metallic blobs that kept flying apart
in the Days of Future
technology.
Days of Future Past.
So
Yeah.
that Days of Futures Past, was that whole movie just one scene where the guy was running around in the kitchen?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Because I think that's all I saw. I think whenever I put it on, I just fast forward to that scene and then I'm done. Anyways. And then they showed a trailer, and this looks like it's what, Ahsoka season 2.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
they
saw
had,
that one. Yeah.
so they had Ahsoka and her as a kid with Anakin, right? So they had some flashback
Yeah.
scenes. But the reason why I put these pictures is because I feel like they're finally melting the physics of our world into Star Wars, because this looks like some sort of a lightsaber style arrow. And when it hits this guy in the arm, he collapses after the arm burns. So, like, physics would say that if you get struck by this lightsaber, which is supposed to be super hot, all the fluids in your body immediately burst and boil, which is what I think like ends up killing this
Like if
guy,
it's a
because like
plasma arrow, that's gonna be crazy hot.
right,
Yeah. I get what
right.
you're
So
saying. Yeah.
so he gets nicked in the arm and is out. But if
And
you
his
get
arm boils.
sliced in the stomach or
instantly.
cut in half by a lightsaber, you're good to go. So
Yeah, yeah.
the
Unless you're
lightsaber,
Qui-Gon.
yeah. So
Uh,
I don't
and the
know.
Night Sister turns to powder after she shoots this, by the way. I saw that in the
Oh.
trailer.
Okay.
For some
Oh,
reason.
and the other thing that I thought was kind of interesting, I didn't make a slide of it, is so they revealed earlier in the week that there's going to be a Marvel Star Wars crossover next year written by Kevin Smith, right?
Yeah.
And since
Yeah.
they already did the Marvel Star Trek crossover a while ago, that means Star Wars and Star Trek potentially could be in the same universe.
Oh, there you go. But that's only in the comic books.
Right, in the comics.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then they announced the cast of X-Men.
Well, more, right? I mean,
More
some
of
of
the
these have
cast,
been
right?
announced, right? Yeah.
So they officially announced Rogue,
And said that it's coming in 2028, right? They didn't have a date before, right?
Yeah. So then Adam Driver came out and basically said that he's going to be playing Magneto, but that was not correct, because he's actually going to be playing
It was a joke.
Mr. Sinister. Yeah.
Sinister, yeah.
It was actually funny because there were some social media accounts that shared that Adam Driver was playing Magneto.
Yeah.
Either you just didn't like.
They just didn't
get
watch the whole
joke,
thing, and they're like, "Oh, he said
Yeah.
Magneto," and they wrote their little
Right.
thing and spread the word.
Yeah.
Spread the word. All right, so that's kind of cool. You get your X-Men.
So
And
when they announced that, they did that live, right?
Yes.
Right.
At D23.
Did they have the music playing?
I don't remember if Yeah.
All I know is, like, I saw the pictures of everybody, and then I saw the video of Adam Driver going, "Well, they said that we were all getting together, so here I am at Pinewood Studios. Like, I'm just waiting for everybody to show up." Basically,
was he someone that wasn't physically there, like the
correct?
others?
Yeah, he was the only. Yeah, there was he just did a video.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty funny. But go ahead.
They're clearly in pre-production for this, right? Like they're still trying to get the rest of the cast. I'd be surprised if like they didn't have a new Beast as well.
Yeah, there's going to be a new Beast and a new Wolverine, but they want to announce those heavy hitters later.
I don't think they're going to do Wolverine initially.
Not
with
right
the
away.
First one.
Yeah.
I kind of hope.
Well,
they don't.
I mean that could make sense, because if they follow, I mean, if doing Jean Grey as the first of the X-Men, that you know what I mean, you're sort of following the comics a little more. So Wolverine wouldn't show up till later. Yeah.
Wolverine's awesome. I just don't want them to get sucked into the same
overshadowing.
Thing where like all the Fox X-Men movies were more Wolverine movies than X-Men movies, right?
And they definitely became that over time. Yeah.
So I prefer the more ensemble.
Hold them off for a little while and let the other guys breathe for a bit. Yeah.
I thought she was good. I mean, I thought she was good in Spider-Man, but I mean, the character clearly evolves after Spider-Man,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah.
like in terms of like personality. So
I thought she
So-
did all right.
So as a spoiler for Spider-Man Brand New Day, there's a scene at the end where obviously Jean Grey's got control of like this mile radius, and MJ and Ned are caught up in it, and they show MJ crying while she's being held there. And then there's a scene at the end where she's sitting on the school rooftop holding her little necklace
right.
that Peter Parker gave her. So the theory is that somehow Jean Grey restored her memories. And that's why she had the tear in her eye. And I'm thinking maybe she didn't necessarily restore the memories, but maybe the feelings.
Or just did it inadvertently in whatever mind
Right.
nonsense, just unlocked everything. I don't know.
Yeah. So the toss up of that is that when Peter and Ned meet in the little store, Ned doesn't have that same connection. That's why I'm thinking maybe she just unlocked.
They do the handshake.
Oh, then yeah, that's kind of
When
unlocked.
the
That's why I think
that brings his memory back.
Yeah. So, well, I'm not saying maybe the memory, but like the feeling or the the connections, right,
the feelings
were restored, and that would make more sense to me than.
But then again, they did kind of hint that Ned had a little bit of magic from Sorcerer Supreme kind of stuff.
Yeah. Whatever happened to that? Because he should have been training, right?
Well, if everybody forgot what was going on, then maybe he
just forgot who Spider-Man was. He shouldn't have forgot that he
could
help save the world.
Portals and stuff. Yeah.
Because like, did they forget that they helped Spider-Man save
do they
the world?
think they just helped Spider-Man? Because
I thought that the spell was just to make them forget that Peter Parker was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
they still should have remembered helping three different Spider-Mans.
Yeah,
right?
I think we should draft a letter to Kevin and let him know. Yeah, that
Dear
Sony
Kevin.
really messed up. All right.
Anyway, I'm looking forward to the X-Men joining the MCU. I think they got a good. We'll see how it goes, but I think it's going to be cool. And I'm looking forward to future Spider-Man movies based on Brand New Day.
Right.
So I think it's going in a good direction here.
I agree. And on that note, Lanterns is starting tomorrow. And so there's a bunch of Green Lanterns you can get from McFarlane. As a matter of fact,
is that the broccoli Green Lantern?
Yeah.
I want the one of the fishbowl. The fishbowl.
That guy looks cool. Yeah, they look cool. Robin is coming up, I think, on the 18th. And
wow.
The Wrestler. I don't know who is that. Bane?
Bane.
Yeah, the Wrestler, and then Catwoman.
The version of Catwoman.
The 18th. I think there's another one that's coming out the 18th, but it came up too late. I had already uploaded this thing, so if you guys are still collecting McFarlane figures that don't scale with the rest of your figures, you get some more. Now it's too bad they're not selling like that safe with piles of money and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, they can always sell that kind of crap, right?
Yeah, but it's too bad they don't.
Branded. Yeah,
I think what these are, if you look at the pictures of them, I feel like they're cardboard. I feel like they're like those extreme sets.
They make little cardboard things. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't know who this is.
no idea.
Yeah, I've seen him. What's his name? Is it Mad? Somebody Mad? What is this guy? Yeah.
Come on, everybody. I have no idea. I took the picture and was like, I don't know what that is. McFarlane figures don't even scale correctly with other McFarlane figures. Madman.
Yeah, Madman. Is that it?
Okay.
Yeah.
What a name. I wish I was there in the room when they started making up names for this character. He looks like a madman. That's a perfect name.
I'm like, it's Mad something. Mad.
Yeah, nobody will. Yeah, that guy Vern, he'll never remember his name.
It looks like a
McFarlane
villain
figures
trying
don't
to
even.
go in white face.
Yeah.
My problem with this figure is I feel like he's just wearing a jacket and a shirt.
And gloves.
Oh, because the legs, he's showing a lot of leg. Yeah.
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 All right. So
Oh,
Boss Fight
he's so
Studios,
nice.
Boss Fight, these are 112 scale to go along with your other Boss Fight figures, the Red Sonja, all that kind of stuff. So this is
Is
a
that
new.
Cole the Conqueror and then Red?
I feel like it's Conan, right?
Oh, is it Conan? It's not Conan's
Yeah.
dad. Have they done Conan's dad?
Let me
Cole the
look.
Conqueror.
It is King Conan, ruler of
Oh, King Conan.
Aquilonia. And then the other guy is Thulsa Doom, undead sorcerer.
Undead
Ba-bam.
Thulsa Doom. Wow. The undead
Yeah.
Thulsa Doom. Wow.
Yeah.
I like
And the reason why.
eyes.
And how much would you pay for each of these figures?
$27.99.
Yeah, they are like $10 cheaper than the INT-4.
$60?
69.
Wow.
Oh, 59. 59. So $20 cheaper than the INT-4. So
Like
these are $20 cheaper than the
You're saying
INT-4.
each. They're not a
Each.
2-pack. You're saying each.
No. They're each $20 cheaper than the INT-4.
Yeah. They do look cool. I like the Thulsa Doom one especially.
I do like the eyes, the glowing
Yeah.
eyes look cool. Yeah. All right. And then
Oh,
apparently they had DuckTales too.
Yeah, I love DuckTales.
Those have been on pre-order for a while.
Okay.
DuckTales, woo.
And then here's some other DuckTales.
Yeah.
Scrooge, Launchpad, and then they got Gizmo Duck too.
Oh, they have a Gizmo Duck?
Yeah.
Oh, and Muppet Christmas Carol. Look at that.
Yep. Yeah, they showed these off at SDCC.
Did they? I completely just did not see them then.
These two, yeah.
What? Are those the Phenomenal? Yeah.
Sorry, I'll do the whole thing if you want.
And then if you're at Shop Disney or Disney Store or whatever they call it now, these are all going to be available
thing was interesting. Yeah.
at 8 a.m. on August 17th.
A fuzzball with Captain EO sounds?
I'm definitely in for fuzzball.
Yeah.
It's a fuzzball with sound.
Captain EO.
Yeah.
There's
a
polar.
That lightsaber set was cool with all the sounds. That was the way it lights up.
For me, like the price tracks with similar kind of sets and like number of lightsabers, but for me, all the other that set is for the 4 masters who go to arrest Palpatine and Revenge of the Sith. So you got Agent Kolar, Stacey Tin, Kit Fisto, and Mace Windu. Of those 4, Mace Windu's lightsaber is interesting. The other 3, they're like generic, boring hilts. So like I have zero interest in that, surprisingly.
I just liked the sound when it played. Someone put a video up and it was pretty darn cool the way it does all the voices and the colors change when the lightsabers light up. It was kind of cool.
So I don't live anywhere where it snows, but Eric, it snows where you live, right?
Yes.
So you should get this polar mouse droid and see how well it drives through the snow.
No, that's from that's from just Mando and Grogu. I've got the main mouse droid, the black one that they released a couple years ago or last year, I think, whatever it was. So I'm sticking with that.
All right. Well, Jonathan is like 130 for the basic mouse droid, winning. No, I don't know what that. WTF? You guys must know what that means.
It's winning the fun. He's winning the fun.
And then this droid, which is sized for the vintage collection,
ABC,
basically. Yeah, and it has a magic hat is $18.
Yep.
Yeah. So
those droids sell out pretty quick, though.
they do. Yeah. And then you have the Daredevil Silver Mask, which is the limited edition exclusive, $80.
Now, are you
Then
blind when you put that on?
Yes, but your sensory senses are enhanced.
Oh,
Now, the only thing the silver mask does is it protects you from the rays, so you don't have to wear a tinfoil hat.
oh, okay.
Yeah, and then
I thought
the
I was
Thor.
crazy. I didn't think I'm like, when did he wear that silver one? He didn't. It was just in that one scene of what was it, like She-Hulk, when you see all of
Yeah.
the helmets. Yeah.
Wielding the Force, so much fun for you to be Star Wars fans. Wielding the fun, that's what it is. Stormbreaker, is that going in your collection, Eric?
I already have the Hasbro one that came out.
Yeah, but this one
years
has
ago.
lights and sound effects.
So does this one.
Oh, okay. What about the Venom Spider-Bot interactive remote control bot?
I don't. Those
You
go
control
with
it
the
with your phone?
I thought those were like companion things for the Spider-Man ride in Disneyland.
Are they? Okay.
Something like that.
And I was going to say, do you control them with your phone? Because we all bought Sphero BB-8s, and then they discontinued the app, so now we can't control our BB-8s anymore.
Did they really? I'm staring at mine right now, and I haven't touched the app in
If you still have the app on your phone, it will still work. But if you've updated your phone or deleted the app or anything like that, then you can't re-download the app's gone. It doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
Okay.
to me, then. So based on
if you
that,
still got it, it'll work. It should work
Okay.
still. But if
So based on that, there's
you can't re-download it.
There's a class action lawsuit right now for Wemo or whatever, because they created all these like light switches that you can control, but they stopped updating them. So unless you have already paired them with your Apple Home Kit or whatever, you can't control those switches and lights anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And you can't connect them to those other services anymore. So people are filing there's a class action thing saying, like, when we bought this functionality was included, but now it's not included.
Yeah.
Because you guys have discontinued it. So I wonder if
they did that with one of the online movie services. Like they did that. They're in a class action lawsuit also because they took away a movie that everyone bought, or when they merged with another company. I think that's what happened. The new company didn't have rights to have that movie digitally.
Yeah, the licensing rights.
Yeah, and they're saying that, like,
but you're going to lose that one because there's always been small print about that.
Yeah,
licensing.
But even with the small print, people are saying they should, like, it's kind of like if I buy a DVD, you can't one day come in my house and take my DVD away.
Well, the thing is like Apple, I remember at one point said, hey, you're buying a license for this movie. If you download it and have it on a hard drive, it's always your movie. But we reserve the right to not have it in our library.
Yeah, they do right now. But I'm just saying, I'm curious how this lawsuit's going to go out, because the lawyers and the people who are in the lawsuit are trying to say, if we buy something even digitally, we own it forever. And you got to serve it to us forever. And I'm curious what will happen if they win. Then I'm like, oh, great. What happens about video games and stuff? Because they've discontinued so many video games by turning the servers off. And some people have spent hundreds of, thousands of dollars on these video. Like, what if one day World of Warcraft turns off and they don't? There's people out there who spent.
Well, what if they go out of business? Are they required to then continue operating their server?
Too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's so weird, this digital landscape. Yeah.
So here's some Pixar stuff.
Yep.
Eric, are you buying that ball?
No. Or
what about the lamp?
My wife was actually kind of interested in those, but I don't know.
Probably I might be up for that ball.
What, those ears are $40? Holy crap.
Well, they aren't they Bluetooth headsets?
I don't know if those are
No,
Bluetooth.
the mouse ears.
Aren't they just mouse ears? I mean, geez.
People
How much
who
are
buy
they in
that,
the parks? I haven't bought a mouse ear in the parks. Is that normal?
The only themed mouse ears my wife and I ever got like that for her were they did them for the Polynesian resort. I'm actually wearing a t-shirt today, but yeah. But that was the only one. There are people out there, like I know people who collect those.
Oh yeah, they get one every time or a couple of them every time.
Those people,
but are they normally $40? I didn't.
Yeah,
there's
something in that. High. There's something in that range. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's interesting? I watched a guy's video where he was at D23 and they had like a pin swapping station set up.
They do.
And
yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the coolest thing.
They have them at various spots
idea
inside
of this,
the parks too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idea of the pin swapping is actually really cool to me.
Because I actually look around because there's a Yoda pin that's in like a box set or a set of 4 or 6 or whatever. And I don't want all the other pins. I just want the Yoda. So I walk up to a lot of those pin exchange things when I'm at Disney parks looking to see if anyone traded in the Yoda. And then I'll run over. If they did have it on the board, I'd be like, I want that pin. Give me a second. I'll go over and buy one random generic pin, come back, give them that one. And
well, you could do it with cast members too. When I did the college program in 2010,
if they're wearing a pin, you can ask to trade,
right? Because they, I mean, I'm sure there are some employees that have their own pins, but like each place has like just pick a lanyard with a bunch of pins, and the managers tell you like, hey, like encourage pin trading. Right.
Yeah.
Go nuts. So Endor dude, I have here, I'll just paste in a link to the tweet in the chat. So give me one sec.
It didn't really make me feel like at the end of that trailer I knew any more about that movie. You know what I mean? Like,
okay,
I just was like, oh, okay, it's a guy with like a garage and he has a ship.
Now, are there any Jedi in this movie, or are they just all starfighter pilots?
Well, they're not. There might be, but they haven't said it.
Okay, and do we know? Like, is there a bad guy, or do we not know that yet?
Matt Smith is playing an antagonist.
But we don't know who or what or what's going on. Okay.
The end of this Starfighter movie is basically the end of the Rise of Skywalker, where all the ships show up to fight that huge Imperial battle at the end.
What? Is it really?
No.
Oh.
But I'm just trying to tie those two movies together.
I thought this was still in the Mandalorian time frame.
No, this is 5 years after the Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, it's after Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
It's way out there. Okay.
At least that's what they've said, or what I've heard.
Wow.
Force sensitive. I liked in the Ahsoka trailer where they were opening those like double doors. The yin yang. Yeah, that what's her name? Not Ahsoka, but who's the other Jedi Mandalorian girl? Sabine.
Sabine Wren. Yeah.
She also had her hand up like she was helping to open the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought
that was Shin Hati with
Hu Yang
with Hu Yang with 4 lightsabers.
Yeah,
right?
Hu Yang going full Grievous.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
But did you see the clips of the other guy too? I guess the replacement.
Rory McCann.
Yeah, he's going to be taking over as Balin, right, or whatever his name is. Right?
Yeah,
that's the Force.
Punked John. Yeah.
All right. That's it. Did you guys see anything else from D23 that was interesting or that we might have missed?
I think you got it all. Yeah, you actually covered more than what I saw. So
you definitely covered more with the Shang-Chi sequel that's not happening as of right now.
I just woke up, it fell in my feed, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool! Finally, he's getting a sequel." I don't think that guy's getting a sequel.
Well,
I,
he's in the next movie. He's in
I,
Doomsday, so that's good.
I sure as hell hope he does, because it would be really cool to see more of that. And I hope he has like scene stealing moments in Doomsday at
Listen,
least. Right?
Yeah.
I don't really care for Channing Tatum that much in as the Gambit, right? But
Mhm.
seeing them fighting in the trailer, right, where the two of them are fighting each other, made me start thinking like, would the two of those be funny in like a buddy superhero movie, right? Where like they do a team up, Marvel team up or something,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
maybe they should do movies like that, like Marvel's team up, and just put a couple of like heroes
They like
together.
the comics they used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah. And I think that could be like a really cool, like one-off type of movie where they go off on
Mm.
some adventure together or whatever, and maybe they have to wisecrack each other throughout the movie or something like that. Those two characters seem like the perfect combo to pull something like that off to me.
I think I always thought that, like, if you go back to that other Spider-Man movie, what we were talking about earlier with where all the Spider-Mans showed up, where he was trying to like make people forget, like during that spell or whatever. When he got there and the snow was all in the Doctor Strange's in I always thought that should have been him and Amy sweeping up. Or was her name Amy? What was her name? What was the girl?
In Doctor Strange?
No, in Shang-Chi. Was that Anna?
I can't
You
remember.
mean Aquafina's
Aquafina's
character?
I can't remember her name.
So shouldn't have been those two? I thought it should have been Shang-Chi and the girl sweeping up all the snow instead of having two random people that we've
No,
never
because
seen.
you can't make the superheroes do that kind of work.
But they weren't
But
heroes yet. They weren't heroes yet. Didn't those movies come out around the same time?
Couldn't have like one of the magician guys just went and made all the snow
Swept
go
the
back
snow
into the
out?
snow
Yeah.
world?
Yeah, you'd think so. But
I mean, or maybe they could have brought Wanda in to do it once. I mean, she seemed like she's way more powerful than all of them put together. Oh man. All right. Yeah, pretty exciting weekend. I actually didn't realize that D23 was this weekend. It's actually up in LA. And I looked
Anaheim.
I looked on Thursday, Friday and Saturday were sold out, but at the time Sunday was still available. And I was like, do I want to go up there on Sunday? But I wish I had planned a little bit better and then realized, oh yeah, that could be something I could like go to on a Friday or Saturday or something. But
I definitely want to go to one.
I've never looked into it because I don't plan on flying wherever D23 is most years. But I do notice that as a Florida resident, if I buy a resident yearly pass, in the thing it says I get discounted tickets to D23.
yeah, like
But
you can just sign up. Yeah.
You also get discounts if you're a D23 gold member.
Yeah, there's
Right.
there's levels of membership, right? You can do
And that's like their free version.
I actually never looked into like what it would cost me
gold,
being a Florida resident, having a resident pass to go, but because I'm just like flying there and doing all the stuff would just negate any savings.
I signed up for D23 and I'm a gold member and I've never paid a thing.
Or maybe it's like Gold Plus or whatever. I pay.
You don't have to pay? Is that what it is? You don't have to pay?
For like the basic one, you get like nothing, but you get like some ability to get discounts or whatever. It could be because I'm a Marvel Unlimited and a Disney Plus subscriber. I'm trying to remember if that's why.
You don't have to. Okay, yeah, you don't have to pay.
But you're right. You can sign up for a free D23 account. I pay for the lowest tier of the like paid one, just because I get like you get to choose one of those things, and usually there's something I want in there, and I figure like whatever discounts I end up using, like you get a 10% off at the Disney store, so that usually pays for itself with like what I buy.
John recent has he? Yeah, I'm not worried about John flying because I know he flew to Augusta. Was it Augusta, Georgia?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know he flew. So
I flew last year. This past year, I drove with Dino.
oh, so it was last year was the last time you were allowed on a plane.
Yeah, that was the last time I flew. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, yeah, I didn't find anything else, and I don't have any more pictures to show off.
The 23 means something. It's not how many years. It
The
doesn't
year
go like
Walt did. I just looked it up because I never thought about. Like I thought it was weird,
1923.
but yeah, 1923 is the year Walt Disney started the company after arriving in California.
Steamboat Willie. All right. All right. So we'll look forward to more news coming out this week about different stuff. They did announce at D23 that the original Star Wars movie is going to be released next year for the 50th anniversary.
They already
It wasn't
announced
much.
that.
Yeah, I was trying to say it wasn't much of an announcement because it was already announced.
yeah.
But yeah, the original cut. And when you watch it, don't be surprised when you find out that Greedo never shoots.
And there's squares around your TIE fighters when they fly by.
Yeah, he cannot even return fire because he's shot so fast.
At D23, they also showed the trailer for a game called Star Wars Eclipse, which was announced years ago, and the same like cinematic trailer was
Played again.
shown.
Like,
yeah, it's the same exact thing.
Hey, yeah. So the interesting thing before we go is that when they announced all these movies, like Coco, they were like 2029. And I'm like, when they announce something for like 2029, I'm not holding my breath for it because you know what I mean? Like,
how many
it's so
things have they
far off.
canceled? Yeah.
Yeah, it's so far off that I'm not even sure that they'll actually get to it.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
But if it is,
stuff we see that they cancel, you know.
right. But knowing how long it takes to make an animated movie, it could be that they're already working on it, and it's just going to take that long.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's see. How much would you pay for a TVC G17 Imperial Reaper, and how much will Hasbro charge for it?
I was just about to respond in the chat to this. So most recently, Vader's tie was $139.99, and
that's right.
And Mando's N1 was $131.99.
And
so
the
it's not going
X-Wing's
to go down
20 something, right?
No, that's gone on sale or whatever. They try and sell it for $99 when it's out, but you can get it for like $60 on Amazon a lot of times.
Okay, so when that G17 comes out,
it's going to be $150 plus. It's going to be $150 to $200.
Are those ships similar in size to that? Is that what it is?
I would imagine if it's a starfighter.
Well, if you're looking at the trailer, it wasn't that big underneath that tarp, right? So
yeah, it looked about the size of an N1 or an X-wing.
Okay.
Right.
So can I ask one thing though before we go? Speaking of the 20, speaking of like them announcing a movie for 2029, do you think that's a little bit absurd? Because even showing the X-Men stuff and saying this movie's coming out in 2028 makes me kind of go, like I'd rather they just not announce it until. I mean,
well, they want you to know who the cast is going to be, and they want to build excitement over the next couple of years,
that's like
right?
Really out there, though.
But there was a press release about this X-Men movie that's coming out in 2028. The movie tickets will be $15.97, right? So that's released. So you can budget for that movie now, but when it's released, the tickets are actually going to be $29.99.
$79.99. Well, I don't know. All I'm saying is that part of me I'd rather just not hear about it until like 8 months before the movie comes out or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It just seems like.
But based on,
I guess what it is I get a little bit excited for the film, but then when I hear something like, well, it's not coming until 2028 or 2029, then it deflates all my excitement. I just kind of go, crap. I don't even know where I'm going to be in 2029. I mean, who knows? That's so far out. I can't plan that far ahead. I don't know where I'm going to be.
Right.
Am I even going to be alive?
But
are robots going to take over the world by then? You know.
Listen. You can start planning to take your shower and get ready.
Yeah, get ready. I'll set an alarm so I can get up.
You can plan out your 4 hours of trailers now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
All right,
saying, I mean, between now and 2029, who knows if the robots take over and we have an apocalypse. I mean, then I never get to see the movie and I'm excited for nothing. I'd rather just not know.
I doubt robots will be taking over, but more than likely, all of these plastic superheroes will probably come to life and save the world.
Yeah. You don't think they're coming to life every night when you go to bed?
No.
When you run in the room, they're like, "Bird's here."
No, they don't do that. All right. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate it.
Bye, everybody.
Have a lot of fun doing the Toy Duo team, and we'll be back next week to talk about action figures and more. And we normally roll the music, but we just skip it now. So have a good weekend, everybody.
See you later.